Yeah. Okay. So I'll start again. Sorry for the hiccups. The meeting ended early, and we are starting again. So before that, we have discussed how to download and set up JDK. So I'll I'll just go through it again once more. So I've shared a link in the chat, so where you can actually go and download from Oracle side. You can download Java SE latest version. Okay, yeah. So you just download this, and you'll find the different links for Mac, even Windows, Linux, all those environments. So you find the suitable one and you installed Java from there. And once installing, so it's just like normal application installation. You just go next, and then it will install directly. So once it is installed, you have to set up the environment variables. Okay, so for that you have to set up those environment variables in the system properties. You can go and you can just search for the environment variables. You'll find directly linked into system properties. You can go into this environment variables, and you have to first set this first system variable, that is Java underscore home, and you specify the path of JDK where your file was installed, the latest installation was done, and in the path you specify the path of that particular bin folder inside that Java home. So these are two things you need to do, and then your Java will be installed. You can see when you run Java space hyphen version, you can see that the version is installed on your system, and then you can run the Java applications. So there are two ways to running a Java application, or maybe a building a Java application. One is a more conventional way, which was before these integrated development environment are specific, like Intellij Eclipse tool came. So what people used to do, they used to write the code in Notepad and then compile it and then run the code. So that is a lengthy process. We'll go through that also, so that at least if nobody can download the Intellij, then or maybe another software, then they can use that conventional method. But I would warn you that those conventional methods are actually typical. They takes a lot of efforts, and so that these IDE integrated development environment comes into the picture, those makes your life easy. So what I'll do, we'll install Intellij on our system so that at least you will know how to install it, and means what should we do. Okay, so for installing Intellij, what you can do in Google, you can directly type. Yeah, so it Intellij is actually owned by JetBrains, and that is a company which actually is also responsible for Eclipse and other IDs. So this is Intellij idea, and that is like an mostly most simplifying tools, means it has all the libraries, it has all the functions, all the methods which can actually make your life easy. So there are two versions of this Intellij. One is Ultimate and one is Community Edition. So Ultimate version is something which you want to pay for, and Community is free. So it doesn't have that much difference. Community, the free version, have a little bit less functionality, but at least for Java development, it has sufficient functionality for time being. So we don't need the ultimate version. We don't need to pay. So okay, so you can download this community edition. You can go directly into the site. Okay. So there it will show there are two versions. One is ultimate and one is community. It has 30-day trial. So if anybody wants to try that, they can try. Otherwise, go with the community edition. So what I'll do, I'll download the executable file directly, and this will start the downloading. And actually I have this downloaded already. So what I'll do, I'll run that. This is the one which I already downloaded. I'll run it. I uninstalled it before this meeting so that at least we can see it, how to install this as well. And if you have done it, that is really better. So we just specify the path, nothing else. It might take a minute or something.
Hi, Akush. Someone is saying, please, can you post the link again?
Okay. Yep. Yep. I'll post both of the links. I'll post this JetBeans for Intellij. Use the Intellij link and so I posted both of the links. So for Intellij as well as JDK. So you can download Intellij. So it must be installing right now. Let's see. It is taking still some time. Okay, what I'll do, I'll run it directly. Okay, so when we are running it, it actually says to if you specify installation folder, otherwise it will directly install it in the C. Okay, so when you run the Intellij first time, actually it will ask some of the features, means what you want to see. I would recommend to go, do not take time into this, just go to next and just start using Intellij. Okay, so this is how we are using. So when you are starting at first time, you will give 3 links, like from create new project, open or import, or get from version control. Get from version control is something where the GitHub comes into the picture. You can directly put the code directly from the GitHub link, or otherwise you can create a new project into your local directory and then upload it into GitHub. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a new project. So we installed Intellij. So next thing will be a demo project, means how to build a project, how to build a Java application, not Java application, but a Java file, and how to run that. So this we'll do right now. So what I'll do, I'll click on this create new project link. Okay, so it says any some things like additional library, you don't need that. You just say next. You don't need to specify anything. Okay, the project name. So first, now you need to specify a project name, means whatever you know. So let's see, my first program is connected. Finish it. Okay, so when you create a new project, okay, it also gives the tips. Intelligence means you can actually read through those tips, means when you actually know what you are going to do, then these tips will be really helpful. But for a first time user, for beginners, these tips will not make any sense because you don't know any of them. So I'll close the tips right now. Okay, so I created this my first program as a Java program. So if we go through here, it has this .idea folder which Intellij creates actually. So this .idea folder and .iml folder, IML file, these are created by Intellij, so we don't need to go through that. There is a one directory. This is src. that is a package. Actually, package is something, I would say it is a directory, a folder structure, means how you specify different files or how you categorize different files into different folders. You can actually specify the same thing here also. So you can specify, if suppose you want to build a project which actually sells a book. So sells books, actually not a book. So you need to specify something which is responsible for selling a book. You need to specify something which is actually responsible for buying a book. So there are two functionalities. You can actually differentiate with those into two different directories. So for buying, you'll have one folder structure. For selling, you have one folder structure. So it totally depends on individuals. If I want, I can have the both of the functionality into the same project, same package or same folder. Or if you want to simplify things, you can have it into different folders, different directory, so that it will be easy for you to find. So that if suppose you want to see means what you did in buying, you can go into that folder, and if what you did into selling, you can go into that folder. So that depends on individual, but it is recommended that for different means categories, or maybe how you differentiate between different modules, you have different packages. So what I'll do, this is a src package which is created by default. Okay, and now there's this external libraries. So what are these? So when you install JDK, I told you means it gives some basic libraries, Java libraries. So those all libraries are specified here. Okay, so which actually lets you to connect database, lets you to connect different APIs, different other applications also. So we'll not go through this. What I'll do, now I need to create my first project. Okay, what I'm going to do, it might not make sense right now, but when we go through and different slides after this, then it will start making sense. So what I'll do, I'll right click on this src. There's a new. Now I'll create this Java class. I'll explain you what is a class, but now first I'll create this Java class. I need to provide a name of the class. So one thing to make notice, you should always specify the class name as starting with capitals. So what I'll do, you know, this hello world program which I'm going to explain you, that is like used in all of the tutorial videos all the time. So I'll use the reference of that as well. So what I'll do, I'll just specify the name of the class. I'll type this into camel case, or maybe I can write it like this. So okay, so I created this class file, a class, Java class. So it has this public, this class keyword, and this the name of the class, and there are two curly brackets. So this curly brackets, these defines the scope of the class. Means here you will do all the things, like you will write different codes, you'll write different statements. So whatever you are going to do, you are going to write between these two curly brackets. So what I'm going to do right now, I'll type another statement. I'm going to write something, and then we'll go into the details. What is this? Okay. Okay. See, means I types hello world here, so it gives the recommendation that typo and rename, so that you can correct the name also, just to so that your code looks readable and your code is actually beautiful. So this is what I have written right now. So this is a Java file where actually I have specified something. It is blurred right now. So, and now we want to run this code. So actually for running this code, what I'll do, I'll just right click, and then there is one option, run hello world.main. Okay, or it also gives you a shortcut, control shift plus F10. So you can actually do that as well, or maybe you can run the code directly here. So what if I do this, what it is going to do? Just because we are doing it first time, so it will take, see what it does. This is the hello world which I have written here. It has printed that hello world here. This is a terminal. Actually, this is a command prompt, or maybe I would say a output window. When you run a Java application, you can see your output here, whatever you want to do. If suppose what I did, I actually printed this hello world keyword from that application to this terminal. If suppose I change anything here, hello world, and now I've changed the string, and now what I'll do, I'll directly, I can run it from here. And if you see there is another green button here also, you can try that, but I'll go with this. Now I've clicked that button again. It is actually building it. So it again said that hello world from developers college. So this is how we write a application. So now this was a class, we put some statements there, and now this is printed here. So now we'll go into the details. What are all these things? Just a minute. Somebody is saying switch off a class. Okay, so this was our first program. So what we did actually, we created our first project, and then we created our first file, class file that we say, and then we actually put something which is actually running right now, and now we have that running, and we have printed something here. So after this, now I'll tell you some, now let's modify some of these things. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, suppose if I write like this, I created a class and I changed the name here. So what it is going to do, hello, when it says everything is red, and if suppose now I run it, it won't even run it. See, it says Java class hello world is not public, should be declared in a file name hello world.java. Okay, so this is the first thing which I wanted to tell you. Whenever you have a class name, the file name and the class name, this keyword is a class name, and this name, the whole file.java, is the file name. So those should be identical. It should not have that extension, but yeah, if it is, the class file name is hello world, then the class name should also be hello world, and it is case sensitive. So if something you're writing in caps uppercase, then that letter or that word should be written in our uppercase here. So now when I convert it again back to the same name, then it is gone. See, so the class name and the class file name and the class name, this is same. So now if I run it again, so now it again works. So this was the first thing I wanted to tell. Java is case sensitive. So if you write something in small letters, so if you are using that, you should always use the small letters. So if suppose I write something in capitals, then I use that. So it should be exact string, exact name which you are going to use. So the class name and the file name should be same. The second thing, and class name should start with a capital letter. So this is a recommended thing. So the class name should always start with a capital letter. Okay, and now we'll go into the statement. So I told you these first two curly brackets, those are the scope of the class. Okay, this public, what is written here, that will go into details. So whenever you are creating a class, so if you suppose you want to do something in Java, you need to create a class. You can't do anything. The class is a mandatory thing where your whole statements, your whole logic will be there. So you need to create a class. So whenever you are creating a class, you need to specify this. Just because IntelliJ is smart enough, so you don't have to write all these things like this public, this class. So suppose I'll create another one just to show it again. I'll create another class. What I did, I go into that SRC project again, and then again new, and then again Java class. So I'll try. Okay, I type the name of this, and suppose if I just enter it, then it will it will directly create that class. So you don't have to worry about it that the class name should be same as the file name. So that actually IntelliJ takes care of it. I'll do that again. Okay, so in hello world, I type all these things: public, static, void, main, string, args, system.out.println. So what is this? Actually, whenever there is a class, if suppose I specified something here, okay, see, this gives error. Okay, so you cannot specify. So there's one more thing. Okay, one thing. This particular method. This is a method. Method is something which we want to do. It is like a task which we want to do from a class. If suppose you want to eat, then eating is a task. So just understand those in the same manner as methods. So methods are nothing, just a task. It consists of some statements. So and different methods have different tasks actually. So this is main, and this is a method which we'll go through in details. So whenever there's a class, its execution, or maybe it's when you run the class, it starts from this main method, this statement. If you don't have this statement, suppose if I remove this statement, you don't have anything. See, I can't even run this class. So for running a class, you need to have this statement: public, static, void, main. Otherwise, you are not able to run that class. Okay, so this is again one of the important thing. Okay, and why it is going fast. Okay, and so with what are the statements? Statements are something which you want to do. Suppose you want to add something, you want to build something, you want to print something, you want to show some output. So this is a statement which is written here. Or maybe I would say everything is a statement. It is divided into methods, variables, different things. So this last keyword, or I would say this semicolon, which actually lets you know that this particular statement has ended here. So if you type anything here, this will not be executed. Okay, so maybe it will be executed, but it will give some error right now. So this particular line, this is a statement, and when we provide this semicolon, then that statement has ended. So now we can write something new into the next line, which will be executed again. Suppose I write again this thing. And now if I execute this again, so if you say the first statement, it says this hello world from developers college, that was printed in the first line, and then the second statement, second view, that was printed into the second line. So the first statement I did there, second and its statement started from there. So it has printed it into next line. Okay. So semicolon, this semicolon is used to end the statement so that a next statement can start. Okay, so all these things we know now. Java is case sensitive. Class name should always start with capital letters. This method name will go into when we are starting with methods. Okay, name of the program file should match the class name, which actually we saw that this hello world should actually match the class name inside the class. Okay, and execution starts from public static void main. So if you don't have this line, you can't execute a Java file. So for executing a Java file, you need to have this. Okay, semicolon is used to end the statement and next statement starts. So if you don't have this, so you don't know where your statement is ended. So it shows red. So for each and every statement, you need to specify a semicolon that your statement has ended now. Now you want to do second thing. Okay, and programs are made of statements. So this is all things we know right now. Okay, this is how do a we make a class and we execute a class, we run a class into Intellij. Okay, now I'll go into a more conventional way. Okay, how if you don't have Intellij, how we used to do that. Okay, I told you there needs to be a notepad. So what I can do, I can write this whole thing, this whole code into this file, and then I can execute that file also. So what I'm going to write it here, I'll just copy this from here. I'll paste it here in this notepad file. So now this is written here. So when we do that IntelliJ, we just wrote something. We didn't. Yeah. Anybody wants to say something?
Sorry to cut you short, Ankush. So sorry. The meeting will be going on soon also again. So I just want to pass this information that when this happens, just give it like a 2 minutes time and then try the link again. I've also sent the link into the chat so that you can use the same meeting ID and password to re-enter, and we'll continue from there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we have 7 minutes, so maybe when it is going to end, then we can do that again. Yeah. Okay, so what I did in Notepad, I pasted whole thing which I wrote in IntelliJ. And when you are doing this via IntelliJ, so suppose now we don't have an IntelliJ right now. So this was the class name, actually, hello world. So what I want to do, I want to run this file. Okay, I don't have an IntelliJ, I want to run this file. This is a conventional method. When ID was not there, then this is how we used to do the programming, and we used to update the code. So what I'm going to do, I need to first save this file. So as I told you, if suppose the class name was hello world, if suppose I want to save this file with different name, let's say I'll save this file with my name, Ankush. And whenever you are doing any coding, you need to save a file with an extension. Means which type of file is this? So you need to type .java. This is the extension. Okay, so Ankush, this is my earlier files which I created. So Ankush.java, this I created. I'll save it now. Okay, so now the class name is hello world, but the file name is Ankush. Okay, so in IntelliJ, we didn't have to do that, because whenever we created a class, it actually created, whenever we created a Java file, it actually created the same class with the same name. So we didn't have to do that. But in Notepad, we have to make that into the consideration, so that now the file names are different, and how to execute these now. So if you remember, there was a command prompt. What I'll open the command prompt again. Okay, so I saved this file where I save this file into this location. See user num. This is the location. What I'll do, I'll copy this in. I hope you guys are familiar with some basic command prompt like CMD commands. If you are not, then even though you are going to use Intellij, but just so that you know the difference, I'll just explain you. So what we'll do, we'll go into this folder first. So now I'm in this folder. So if you see this folder, okay. Okay, so I'll delete these two files so that we are not. So this is one file which we just saved right now. So what I want to do, I want to execute this file right now. So when we are working with command prompt, what we need to do first, when Java runs a file, so first we need to compile a file. So as I told you, Java doesn't understand this particular thing which we wrote right now directly. It is in English right now. It has some commands, it has some statement. So it doesn't understand. What it will do, it will just first convert these particular file, these particular statement into byte codes so that it can understand. So that is called compilation. So what it will do, it will just compile the file right now. So how we do that? I told you there was a file on Java C. This is the compiler of the Java, which actually compiles the file, actually converts these files into a byte code. What you are going to do, you need to type Java C and then you need to type the file name with the extension Ankush dot. Okay, see, I run it. Now I'm getting this error. Class hello world is public, should be declared in the file name hello world.java. So it says that whatever is the class name, it should have the same file name. Just because we change the file name, so we are not able to run it right now. So what I'll do, I'll rename this file now. What was the name? Hello. Now we have the same name. Okay, now what I'll do, now we don't have that Ankush file. We have changed the name now. Now I'll do this again. Java C. Now the new file name. Now I run it. See, nothing, no error has been printed now. So that means that file has been compiled successfully. So when I did that, so there is another file in the same directory has been created. This hello world.class file. If suppose I want to view it, I can't view it actually. It doesn't give me any option. I can't view it. So because this is .class file, it is in byte codes. We can't understand it. So now it is done. It is compiled this file, and now we want to run this. So how to run is you have to type this Java command and then the class name, not the file name, the class name. Hello. And this, and now I'll enter it. Okay. Exception. Okay, this was error just because of Java version, actually.
Yes, I think it's the Java version. Sometimes it happens to me too during installation, but
yeah.
This is just to explain to the class how you can run it either from command prompt or the IDE. Ideally, apart from this explanation, just let's stick to what's the IDE you're using, Intellij.
Yeah. So if you just to show you difference, see, when you are doing a coding, you have to take all these things into condition, that file name and everything should be same. Now this version is